boiled out of my mouth so fast that I lurched forward to my knees. God, I cried. God, help me. Chapter 1. The second fire started on a regular day. Summer was coming and the teenagers in the library were getting restless. The new Georgia heat was making people crazy. Not to mention it was Friday, and that brought with it a particular kind of recklessness. And get this, girl. Sharika, my coworker at the triple-wide, barn-sized library, flicked her pink and yellow airbrushed fingernail tips in my face for some kind of dramatic build-up. She up and killed herself. Just did. Shot herself in the head. Or maybe the stomach. The air conditioner clicked on and hummed, making her get louder. In the stomach! She paused and looked at me for a second, her dark brown face in a tight frown beneath the harsh halogen lights that hung over the help desk. She was 30, short, and probably 50 pounds overweight, but you'd never know it by how she carried herself, switching and always with one hand on a poked-out hip. She was funny in a way that women like her just could be, the kind where her high self-esteem was to hide low self-esteem. But smart. She could recite classes in the Dewey Decimal System like poems. Had a quick temper, though. Isn't that some shit? She killed herself, she said. A hand went to her hip. Behind her, I could see a cheerleader and her boyfriend padding rather suspiciously down the hallway toward the bathroom. I nodded at Sharika and made a mental note to look after them in a few minutes. When I'd selected library science as my major in graduate school, I never imagined I'd end up chasing hot teens out of the slender bathroom stalls in a tiny satellite library. But then again, I don't really recall what I did imagine I'd be doing here. Now that's a damn shame. Killed herself over that man. Fuck that, Sharika went on. Won't catch me killing myself over some fool. I have too much to live for. Shh, I warned, elbowing her. Somebody might hear you up here cursing. She rolled her eyes and looked around the half-full, square-shaped reading room where we were both librarians. 4 long wooden tables, which had been donated to our location when the main library downtown underwent renovations, made a large square in the middle of our dwindling and aged stacks of books. It was 3:33 in the afternoon, and, besides us, the only other adults in the library were Mrs. Harris from the Seniors Romance Book Reading Club, and Mr. Lawrence, the neighborhood misfit. For hours, we watched as the hot teens took turns trying to sneak off to the bathroom and back stacks for secret rendezvous. Mr. Lawrence pretended to look for jobs in an upside-down, week-old newspaper that no longer carried a classified section. And Mrs. Harris faked reading Their Eyes Were Watching God as she secretly spied on Mr. Lawrence. You don't think these 2 old folks cuss? Sharika shot, her backwoods Augusta drawl purposely positioned to bite at every syllable she uttered. Please. They could and would cuss both of us under a bus. Don't sleep on old people. They'll cut you first and cuss you last. Sharika giggled at her joke, and I couldn't help but smile. She was crazy, but so right. Reverend Herbert George II had a way with words, too, especially when he'd had some drinks in him. But really, Sharika swiveled her seat around to mine. I just feel so bad for her. Why would she do that? Kill herself for some man. They were divorced already. It was time to move on. How long were they married? 20 years. And you said there was another woman? Yeah. Apparently, he'd just gotten engaged to some tramp, some whore. And how she found out? Stumbling on their wedding registry at